Fear not those that kill for wealth and greed. They are still souls with limits. Fear those that kill just to survive. There is no lengths that they will not go to. Anonymous. Welcome, humble adventurers, to my realm of knowledge and mystery. Here, in my cursed library, are endless tomes and scrolls on the darkest and evilest foes in all the realms, be they from Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, the many worlds of darkness, or any realm in between. Welcome to the Dastardly Decimal System. I'm your caretaker of the corrupt, the librarian Castor Cain, and supervising as always is Vega the cat. Across the many realms, I have witnessed many types of evil. Demons and devils are terrifying foes, but at least their evil makes sense to us. A devil likes a legal loophole, where a demon loves chaos. But they both pale in comparison to the aberrations and the elder evils. Their evil and darkness comes from madness and from a mind so alien to us that we cannot even begin to comprehend. How do you fight an evil when you don't even know why they do what they do? For today's discussion into cosmic horror, I have brewed a pot of Lovecraft Tea. It is a black tea mix with an addition of pumpkin spice flavoring and a high caffeine content for those nights that you just don't want to go to sleep. Sit down, take a cup, and join Vega and I as we talk about the elder evil known as Hadar, the Dark Hunger. In the Forgotten Realms, there are many powerful beings and entities. The world and its many parallel realms are filled with beings who have such immense power that they could rival that of a demigod. Archfey, demons, devils, daemons, primordials, and angels. But the ones that frighten me the most are the elder evils. In the cosmology of the universe, there exists the Far Realm. This is a plane of madness. It is a place to be feared because of its ability to twist unfortunate visitors into gruesome monsters. This is where most of the outsiders and their aberrations hail from. It is also where the elder evils originate from. In the beginning, there was the Aboleth Elder Evils. They were led by one known as the Eldest. They cared little for mortals, only wishing to spread madness and destruction. Then, as the result of a horrific campaign by the Abolithic sovereignty, some stars in Realmspace became infected and infested with madness related to the Eldest. Unlike other stars, these soon-to-be elder evils had no fixed location or set course. Instead, they danced and wavered unreliably, flittering across the stars, going where they wanted, when they wanted. Hadar was one of these stars. Hadar was a cinder-red star that lived deep within the dark nebula known as Hadar. Unlike the other elder evils, Hadar was slowly dying. It was slowly burning itself down into a lifeless, dead cinder. It had once stood as the brightest star in the sky, but now, when you look up at the night sky, it was barely visible by the naked eye. It once stood as a searing red light before fading into a blood-red ember. Hadar now hangs on the edge of annihilation. Desperate to avoid this death, Hadar would torture and consume souls to sustain itself, becoming known as the Dark Hunger. In order to feed this hunger, it created and sent out across the multiverse its heralds of Hadar. Some of the heralds were star spawns, aberrations designed to aid the star-based elder evils. Others were Neogri, and others still were simply humanoids. It was a herald's job to feed on the life force of a victim and send its energy back to Hadar to aid in the prevention of its death. The heralds cared not who they fed from, as long as their star, their patron, continued living. Many have come to Hadar for magic, making a pact with the Elder Evil transformed them into his warlocks. The Neogri were known to seek him out, whereas others suddenly found Hadar's voice in their ear. Hadar blessed his warlocks with several spells and abilities. His heralds had the ability to feed on life energy, healing their own wounds and Hadar's in the process. Hadar would also bestow the ability to cast his namesake spells. These included Arms of Hadar, a spell that summoned tendrils of dark energy. Hunger of Hadar, a spell that opened up the void to the far realms upon a foe. And even Brood of Hadar, a spell that overwhelms a target with shadow, holding them in place as dark horrors rise around them. Each of these spells is meant to bring a fraction of Hadar's presence to the caster, in order to bring ruin upon their foe. Hadar has even gifted his warlocks with shadow weapons for those that wish to follow the path of a hexblade. For his warforged warlock known as Warden, he created and bestowed them with a deadly weapon known as the Teeth of Hadar. A Warlock of Hadar is an avatar of Hadar's dying grasp. They reach out into the various worlds, cause chaos and destruction, feeding on the life force of the innocents, and sending the energy back to their star. They are assassins and nurses combined into one. They are the reach and touch of a soul desperate to stay alive. A Warlock of Hadar is a dangerous creature, but also an unsettling one. They willingly work for an elder evil, consuming the life force of innocent and possibly not so innocent people in order to heal their patron. What sort of madness or desperation must these people be filled with to accept a warlock's duty from such a horrific creature like Hadar? Perhaps each of these warlocks must stop and examine the person they are about to kill. I envision in my head a warlock looking at his 9th victim, unable to walk away, thinking to himself, if I can let victim number 9 live, then why couldn't I have let victim number 8? And if 8 could have lived, then why couldn't have 7? Or 6? Or 5? 4? 3? 2? Why did my first victim have to die? No, I can envision these warlocks of Hadar staring at the soul that's about to be their 9th victim and going, I've gone too far. There's no turning back. I have no choice but to continue along this path. when the influence of the Aboleth Eldest caused stars to be infected by the far realms. Nobody could have pictured what would occur. Planets like Gibbeth, Delian, and Akamar developed sentience, and then an ego before going completely mad. Hadar, on the other hand, followed a different path. While it still suffers from madness, anything infested with far realm energy would be. Hadar is more driven by desperation. All Hadar wants to do is keep living, and he is willing to do anything to survive. This is what makes Hadar far scarier than the rest of the Elder Evils. The others may be consumed by madness and obsessed with destruction, but Hadar? Oh, Hadar is evil of a different brand. Hadar is basically a cornered animal with nothing left to lose. There is no telling what a being with demigod level of power will do in order to stay alive. And that terrifying thought alone has kept me up more nights than I care to admit. Now, tales of the Elder Evils are hard to come by, and harder still to verify, and harder yet still to comprehend. Seriously, madness is not great for storytelling. So I give most rumors about the Elder Evils little mind or time because of that. That being said, there is one rumor that intrigues me and bears mentioning. Ihabar is hungry and will eat anything, including a planet. Hadar exists within Ihabar when it wants to. The rumor states that Ihabar is eating away at Hadar, slowly and sneakily, and is responsible for the Elder Evil's slow, painful demise. It seems our tea has run out. I hope this aids in your cosmic explorations. Join me again in my library for more stories and lore about the darkest villains from the darkest realms. This has been the Dastardly Decimal System. And once again, I'm your librarian, Castor Cain. And with me as always is Vega. Do you love the Dastardly Decimal System and want to support us? Check out our new Patreon. Members will get access to show notes, official artwork, our new bonus episode series called Cleaning Up After Tea Time, and of course, plenty of cat pics of Vega voice actors Vash and Zid. You'll even be able to suggest a topic for a future episode. Check it out at patreon.com/Dastardly Decimal System. If you are not financially able and still want to support us, suggest the show to a D&D loving friend. It really helps us get noticed. The Dastardly Decimal System can be found on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and BlueSky at DD System Podcast. That's Delta Delta System Podcast. Drop us a message and say hi. Vega always loves the attention. This podcast was produced by Midnight Reading Audio, a division of Midnight Reading Publishing. The voice of Castor Cain is Larry Gent. The voice of Vega is provided by my cats, Vash and Zid. Music was Beyond the Night by Dream Protocol from Pixabay, licensed under the Creative Commons. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.